Welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, Jonathan Big Tex Johnson. First and foremost, I'm going to just congratulations to Drew Brees and all the stuff that he's accomplished. I said this time and time again, and let me reiterate this over and over again because I've gotten it from a few Saints fans here and there and whatnot. Let me reiterate this. Drew Brees is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the 98, going on 99-year history of the NFL. Top dog, point blank. There's no argument here about that. His numbers, his accomplishments speaks for themselves. I already spoke about this before when I did the show last week. He's proven that. But I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on why I say this. It's so funny because what I have seen, what I have seen, is that people, and I brought this out last week when I did Brees better than Manning and all this kind of stuff. This is the point. The question is still asked. Even NFL Network had to say, although Drew Brees went to 11 Pro Bowls and he's only had one NFL All-Pro nod, and he has all the passing records and everything like that, the thing that they keep neglecting to say, that obviously one of the main things is the ultimate team sport is football. Period in the story. And I'm always say that. Ultimate team sport. Now, being that the ultimate team sport, Drew Brees is one of 53 on the New Orleans, whatever team he played on, be it the Chargers or be it that of the Saints, right? And this is the reason why it's an issue, because it's like a tear you up, bring you down type thing. And I was explaining this to a guy who was a Saints fan, and I said, look, I said everything, because he was criticizing me, saying, oh, you're Brees and the teams and this and that. I'm like, look, man, this is the thing. They put the rules. The NFL or the people who are the upper echelon in the NFL who make their rules or their criteria, what is and what isn't, or what have you. They made these particular rules. This is the way they do it. I, for one, and I've already said this, I don't believe NFL quarterbacks should have records. They're another player on the team. Records are for coaches. That's how they get hired and fired, by their records. Okay? Let's just deal with that right there. So I don't think NFL quarterback should ever have records. Center doesn't have a record. A running back doesn't have a record. And so it's a team effort. It's a team record. And the coach is over that of the team. That said, nonetheless, it still is a record. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty of this. And this is how this is why Drew Brees is like when nobody's falling like a Brady or Manning or even Aaron Rodgers, and you keep going back to Montanas and Elways and Marinos and all of them guys. His stats and his body of work is right there with them guys as for the position is being played. But since they play the game with the record, this is why he's not mentioned. I will reiterate this again. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible because there's some other things I want to talk about. Make this as short as possible. First and foremost, Drew Brees, and I'll say this again, Drew Brees has 6 seasons. I'm going to just go down the line. 2003, 2-9. 2007, 7-9. 2012, 7-9. 2014, 7-9. 2015, 7-9. 2016, 7-9. Those all that I just named are 6 years of losing records. That's a 37-53 record. I'm not a mathematician or whatever like that, but from the looks of that is under 40%, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. That's under 40% of a winning percentage. Now, this is obviously this is an NFL Hall of Fame first ballot quarterback. Subpar seasons, right? 2002, 8-8, 2005, 9-7, 2008, 8-8. That's a 25-23 record. That's basically 2 games over that of being 2 games over that of being 2 or 3 games over being a losing record, over 500. Okay, game over 500, so to speak. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, that as like I said, from there, that's 9 seasons. That's 9 seasons from somebody that's played 18 years. That's 9 seasons where he did not make it to the playoffs, right? But he's one of the all-time greats. Obviously, again, this is their meter that they build you up with and then tear you down with it. But his stats are so gaudy. Drew Brees could retire back in 2012. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, bar none. Now, Drew Brees' best 3 seasons, where his best run, put it that way, his best run was in 2009, 10, and 11. He went 13-2, 11-5, 13-3. He put it all together basically in 2000, I want to say 2011, with a 468 completions, 71% completion ratio, 5,476 yards. That's the year he broke Dan Marino's record, if I'm not mistaken. And he had 46 touchdowns. In that 3-year span, he went 37-10, and in that time, he won a Super Bowl. Okay, that he had a couple of other seasons back earlier in his career when he posted something not quite that good, but right up there for the most part, was that of the the seasons. I think it was one of the seasons was I want to say 2004. We'll look it up real quick here. But these are the reasons why. And I keep trying to mention this and break this thing down to everybody so that they can see this and not get off the Homer bandwagon. And that, like I said, that would be 2004, 11-4, 2005, 9-7, and 2006. He went 10-6. So you're looking at 21, 30 wins, 11, 30 wins, and 17 losses, I believe, right? And now, remember, 2007 and 8, they missed the playoffs. They didn't even go to the playoffs, 2007 and 8. You know, losing record and then a 500 record, okay? Now, having said all of that, and like I said, now, when you go to, and I mentioned this, and I'm breaking it down to people. You go to Peyton Manning, he has 2 years where he had a losing record, where he did not go to that of the playoffs. These are things that you have to look at when you start talking about great quarterbacks, right? Manning, like I said, 3-13 his rookie year. He goes 6-10 in 2001. 2 years later, in 2001, 3 years later, he goes 6-10 in 2001. After that, that's it. 2 seasons. Two seasons. You go to Tom Brady. Let's go to Tom Brady. Okay? Go to Tom Brady in his illustrious career. Tom Brady, he doesn't have a losing record. He was subpar 2002, 9-7. That might have been the only time that they didn't make the playoffs after they won the Super Bowl. And after that, the lowest record that he basically come up with basically since that time. I mean, come on. I mean, enough said. You know, I mean, I can go on and on with this. Them guys don't put together. They didn't put together 3 consecutive back-to-back losing seasons. You don't see that with Marino. You don't see that with Elway. You don't see that with Montana. You didn't see that with that of Steve Young. You didn't see that with Bradshaw. And I'm not trying to put Bradshaw in that echelon because his numbers don't really fit up, but some of those other guys, they do. That's why he's not mentioned in those guys, because those guys, even down to Aaron Rodgers, those guys do not have consecutive, they don't have 6 years of losing football and another 3 years of subpar football. Like I said, show me where Tom Brady is a stretch where he goes 37-53. Show me that with Peyton Manning. Show me that with John Elway. Show me that with Aaron Rodgers. Show me that with Steve Young. Show me that with Joe Montana. You can't show me that. You follow? That's why, ladies and gentlemen. That's for all the Saints fans and all the people that say I'm hating. It has nothing to do with it. Those are just facts. That's why. But he's still one of the top guys that ever played in the Super Bowl era. He's one of the top guys that ever played. He'd be on my team anytime, be the first quarterback pick, whatever, and stuff like that. He's all of that. He sees the game like nobody is even seeing the game now. And when you're only 6 foot tall in that game, you got to see it. You got to have a special talent to see the game in a certain way where you can make all the throws, where you can make all the throws and just have a consistent rotation of different receivers and stuff or whatever. But that comes with a work ethic, and that comes with people trusting. That comes with people wanting to work with you as well, and you working with them and respect them, and they'll ball for you even though they might not be a Pro Bowler or whatever. Y'all make it work. But that's what I'm saying. Those are the reasons why Drew Brees is not mentioned there. If he wins a Super Bowl, another Super Bowl to go along with that, Hey, still and all. But nonetheless, those other guys are going to still have that over him because he only has about a year left after this one. They don't have that. They don't have 9 years of losing. So his stats, his demeanor, his stats, his respect got him in the Hall of Fame. Not necessarily his a great winning percentage and whatnot. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes, y'all.